a hustler.
Marvin picks it up and stumps it.
To Marvin, pretty play. 2 for Marvin Barnes.
One hand jump, up and in.
Marvin Barnes and the Spirits of St. Louis existed for only 2 short years.
The Spirits are the NBA's 31st team.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to a new video. We're starting something brand new on this channel right now, and I'm so excited for it. So let's get right into it, man. So NBA 2K16 is at the point where I'm kind of bored with it. Like, I've done pretty much everything there is to do on it. So around this time every year, I try to come up with ideas to make things fresh, because 2K17 doesn't come out for what, another 5, maybe 4 or 5 months from now. So I really need to keep it going, man, because you guys have been liking the video. So I'm trying to bring something completely new, and I'm excited to introduce this series. So one thing I've always been intrigued by, something I always wanted to know about, was the expansion of leagues. So this happens in the NBA, this happens in the MLB, the NFL, where teams are created in other markets. So for example, for some of you guys can relate to, 2004, the Charlotte Bobcats were introduced to the NBA. Boom, that's like a prime example. And a new team at that point, it was only 29, and then boom, there's 30 teams. So in this series that we're starting right now, we are creating the 31st team to be in the NBA. And you saw it in the clip, you saw it at the beginning, what team it's going to be. It's going to be the St. Louis Spirits. So a lot of you guys don't know what this team is. I've actually done a lot of research on them because I've watched that 30 for 30. That clip that you saw in the beginning was part of a 30 for 30 that was ran on ESPN a couple years ago, I'm pretty sure. And I've also read a couple books that kind of teach you about the ABA, because this is before the NBA, or they were going on at the same time. It's kind of weird, but the ABA was another association that happened along with basketball, so another professional basketball league. And this team was great. I like the uniforms, I like the colors, I like the city, St. Louis. I picked them, so I didn't take the cop out. I didn't bring the Supersonics back. I didn't bring Vancouver back. So I just went with St. Louis. And a part of this is creating everything, creating the logo, creating the jerseys, creating the arena. I did all of that, and you'll see that in a couple seconds after I get done with this intro, kind of letting you guys know what's up. And it was fun, man. I'm really excited for this series because it's different. I've never seen anybody on YouTube do something like this, because this actually took a long time to get through, and a lot of research that went into it. So now the part I got to tell you about, like I said, I made the jerseys, I made the arena. The next part is the roster. Like, how do we get players on our team? So let me talk to you about that. So I did a little research, and I came and found these little rules. I put them on screen right now that the Charlotte Bobcats had to abide by when they were brought to the league. So it's a lot of big words, a lot of things that you really don't need to know. You don't even have to be reading that, because I'm explaining it really simple for you guys right here, right now. So each NBA team, all 30 teams, from the first team in the East to the last team in the West, get to protect 8 players, up to 8 players. They can protect 2 if they want, but up to 8 players. And by protected, that means us, the St. Louis Spirits, can't pick anybody off their team. So the way the expansion works, we get to pick 15 players from the NBA, like from random teams, 1 per team if we want to. So for example, let's say a team like the Golden State Warriors, it's like the best team in the league right now. They get to protect 8 players. So of course they'll protect Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Harrison Barnes, Bogut, Festus Ezeli, Iguodala, and let's say Sean Livingston. So they protect those 8 players, and anybody else in their roster I can take from their team. And it's cool, but then again, it's not, because you look at the rest of that team. Nobody else in that team can really ball out. You know, Barbosa got a little bit of game, but nobody else in that team can ball out. So this series is meant to be a long one. You take a look at the Charlotte Bobcats. It took them 5 years to get to the playoffs after they were introduced to the league. And this series is supposed to be like that. I'm trying to bring this team that really has nobody on the team, to the promised land. So the way I translated over to 2K, I looked at every team's roster, and I excluded all players, the top 8 players of each team. So top 8 players, highest overall, I could not pick from them, but the rest of the players on the team we could take from them. And it's 1 person per team, so I kind of put together, out of the 30 teams, 30 players that are on the lower tier of their team, and then pick from those 30 players which players I want. And I think I put together a roster that's okay. Of course, like I said, these players aren't meant to be good. Like, think about the Bobcats, man. They were terrible. They were really bad before they made it to the playoffs, and that's what this is meant to be. I think that's all I have for the introduction. We'll get to the uniforms and then the arena creation. I'll reveal the roster to you guys in a couple seconds. One other thing I kind of wanted to touch on is the fact that we're about to hit 10,000 subscribers, dude. This is ridiculous. I don't know where all you guys are coming from, but of course you're welcome, man. I'm happy that you guys are here. I appreciate every one of you guys. When it comes to I kind of look at other commentators in the business, and I'm not just talking about 2K, I'm talking about even bigger things. They don't really give their fans, or I don't even consider you guys fans, it's people that watch the videos that respect. I watch other people's videos, and I look in the comment section, and the person that put out the video, they don't even reply to questions in the comment section. Like, if you look at my recent videos, or any of my videos, I try my best to reply to any comments. And speaking of that, if you have any comments about what this series is going to be, you should comment down below. Of course, I'm going to be back with you. But I appreciate everybody that's been viewing it. It's kind of crazy because a month ago, almost exactly 30 days, I put out a tweet and said, thank you for 6,000 subscribers. 6,000, that was a month ago, and we're about to hit 10,000 hopefully by the end of this week. And it's just crazy to think about. So thank you for coming to the channel. I kind of want to know where you guys came from. What video kind of enticed you to subscribe? And yeah, let's get into all the stuff you really care about, this new series. So let me cut to that. Okay, so let's get into building the uniform. So I kind of took the inspiration from the original team, as you could probably guess, and also threw my own little flair into it. So the colors of everything are going to be the same. The outlet of the jersey, very simplistic, very traditional. That's all going to be the same. But the font and the logo like placement, all of that is from me. Now, you guys know, if you've been around for maybe a couple weeks, I'm not the best when it comes to creating jerseys or being extremely good when it comes to art and things like that. So I kind of suck at this, but I think that these are some of the best jerseys I've ever made. It took me a long time. You see, this is actually sped up like 6 times the speed, so I kind of took my time, a lot of time, trying to make this perfect. So right now we're doing the away jerseys. I wanted to put an Adidas logo there, and I was like, nobody really wears Adidas, right? So I put the Nike logo up in the corner, and now we're gonna move over to the home jerseys. Of course, the home is usually the white. Now, I can't stress to you guys enough how important this is. The color jersey, your color jersey, when you're creating any jersey, has to be the away jersey. If you're gonna make your jerseys white, make sure it is the home jersey. Like, I play a lot of Pro-Am, and people do that so often where they switch it up, man. They'll be away but wearing white jerseys, and it throws everything off. So do yourself and the people you're going against a favor, and make sure you use the right color. So right here, I put the logo in for the home jersey. And then I noticed, like, the trim of my jersey and my numbers and everything, the colors weren't really matching up. And I was like, what is going on here? So I had to make everything a little bit darker and do a bunch of things like that. But ultimately, I think the jersey looks nice. The color, I couldn't get it really dark to what I wanted it to be. So the color is more yellowish, like the color of the number is more yellowish than I want. But I think I'll change that over time once I figure out how to make it dark. You see right here, I'm kind of making sure everything's a little darker so it can match the actual logo. But I think the 2 jerseys that I put together are really nice. Over the years, I think I'm going to design new jerseys every season that will kind of switch it up. So keep it a little bit of fresh. Right here, I'm going through all the different numbers, all the different things that we could do, different fonts. And I think the jerseys I put together are really nice. And we take a look at the final product here. You see, I'm trying to adjust the difficulty, or not the difficulty, but the depth of that color. And that's it. Now we're moving on to the arena. Now, I made this arena as close to the original arena that they had back in, what is it, 73, 74? I think those are the numbers. Around that age, early 70s. So I made it very traditional, just like the jersey. So I think traditional is really nice. A lot of people think that traditional is boring, but I just like a nice solid color of things. So on the edge here, on the baseline, we're gonna have to make sure people know we're the spirits of St. Louis, and they have it kind of in like this cursive-y text, and I found the one that I like, and I'm like, that's the one we're gonna be using. So very simple designs to everything. And you guys are probably wondering, what's the roster going to look like? I'll show you that in a couple seconds. But last final touch is putting the logo right smack dead in the middle. I don't think I'm going to do any advertisement on the sides like a Nike sign or anything like that. I think we're going to keep it plain. I did add the scoreboard or the scores table things, just a bunch of things that you would normally see at the NBA team. So I got some ESPN, got some Gatorade, got some 2K Sports. It's like some normal thing. Buffalo Wild Wings, one of my favorite places to eat, and very, very easy, very traditional things here. So now we're almost done with this, making sure the rim is black, and let's get into the roster. So this is where things go down. This is the roster we put together. Again, I told you guys the process of how we're doing everything, how we created this roster and everything. So bottom tier players of every team. One of the best players on my team that I think I'm going to love playing with is Larry Nance Jr. I watched him a lot this season. I was really impressed with what he brought to the Lakers in a bad season for the Lakers, but I was impressed on what he brought to the team. And that's the roster. The roster's bad. I'm not expecting to win for a couple years, but I'm definitely going to bring you guys some gameplay of me playing with this team. Willie Reed, I kept on this team. I was going to release him, but then I noticed he's from St. Louis, and we're the St. Louis Spirit, so we need a hometown hero there. So that's what Willie Reed is going to come into effect. And a lot of things that I did some practicing with my team, trying to figure out what playbook I was going to want and things like that. So I put a lot of time into this, so it should work out well. One thing I didn't mention in the beginning is we're actually starting off in the 2016-2017 season. So players like Ben Simmons, Buddy Hield, and all those guys, they're actually in the game right now. And I'll show you guys what roster they ended up on as that time comes. So this is what we're looking at. I'm looking at my picks and stuff. I actually did go out and acquire my picks normally from these other teams that normally had it, just because I thought it was kind of unfair for them to have our pick when we're just new to the league. So I got all my picks back, and that's pretty much it, boys. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave it a like. If you're excited, make sure you let me know, man. Any questions you have about how I did any of this, drop them in the comment section. I'll do my best to reply to everything. As I said earlier, it's the King of the Fourth Quarter. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out.